Hello students, myself Asmita Taskar from Computer Science Department. Today I am going to discuss with you the topic of second chapter. The second chapter is the Information Security Overview. In this chapter, the second topic which we are going to discuss today is the e-commerce security tools. So before starting to the e-commerce security, first we discussed what is this e-commerce is. So e-commerce is also known as electronic commerce, or it is also said as internet commerce also. It is actually referred to the buying and selling of the products over the internet, and it is really a very popular concept in a current year, and maximum of people are using this for their day-to-day needs also. So in e-commerce actually, whatever products or the services which we are used or we buy or sell by using the internet, for that we have to make the transfer of money and transfer of data, and that transfer and or a transfer of data and transfer of money by using the internet is going to done by using different ways. Okay, and it performs the different transactions also, and in this type of transactions which are performed for e-commerce purpose are having number of you can say the angles of security. So in here in this concept, the important thing is that is e-commerce security. So the security is the essential part of the transactions which are takes place over the internet, and the in this type of a transactions the customer may have lost their money or their data if there is no proper security is provided. Okay. Now we are going to discuss the dimensions of e-commerce security. There are basically six important dimensions of e-commerce security. Plus to that, we have some other dimensions also. So the first dimension of the security is the integrity. Okay, means we all have one common question always in our mind, whether we have received the same data that the sender has sent to us. Now, it is the duty of the integrity actually for the correctness of the information that has been transmitted or that is going to be received or displayed on the website over the internet. So the integrity is actually ensures that the information which is on the internet has not been altered, means no changes are done in any way by the unauthorized party. So it maintains actually the consistency and the accuracy and the trustworthiness actually of the information over its entire life cycle. Okay. So there is different types of integrities we have, like it is related with the customer perspective on the integrity, then the merchant or the businessman perspective on the integrity, like this. So it is nothing but the ability to ensure that whatever information is being displayed on a website or which is the information which is transmitted or received over the internet has been altered or means changed in any way by an unauthorized party or not. Okay, now we go for the second dimension. That second dimension is the non-repudiation. Non-repudiation means what? It is the ability to ensure that the e-commerce participants do not deny or do not repudiate the online actions. Means whatever he performed, he is not able to say that no, I am not doing this. He is not able because there is some proofs. Actually, what happened for any type of a good businesses, they are depends upon both, that is buyers also and the sellers also. So they must not deny any fact, Means they do not or not able to refuse any fact or the rules which are related to the acceptance of any data, product or information. There should not be any repudiation. So here non-repudiation actually does what does it confirms whether that information sent between that two parties was received or not. So it ensures that the purchase cannot be denied by the person who completed the transaction, and in other words it's actually the like assurance that anyone can not deny the validity of whatever transaction which is get performed in there. Okay, now we go for the next dimension, that is authenticity. So what is authenticity? The authenticity is the ability to identify the identity of a person or the entity with whom you are dealing on the internet. Okay, means he must be the authenticate correct person. So in e-commerce, since the both customer and seller need to trust each others, isn't it? So they must remain as who they are in a real. There is no a fake or you can say the identity they have. So both the seller and the buyer must provide the proof of their original identity so that the e-commerce transaction which is going to be happen, that must be happen securely between them. Okay, so that is what the dimension authenticity, and which is very important one. So every e-commerce site, when we see the authenticity as a tool to ensure the identity of the person over the internet, isn't it? So which makes the identity because of some fraudulent persons or identity, sometimes it become difficult to identify the proper person. So some common ways to identify are, for example, using the passwords or by using the one-time password OTP. Okay, like this. Now we go for the next dimension, that is confidentiality. So the confidentiality is what? It is the ability to ensure that messages and data are available only to those authorized to view them. Means the data which is going to transfer on the internet, that must be cannot be seen actually by the unauthorized person. Okay, so it is refers to protecting the information from being accessed by an unauthorized person on the internet. Or we may say it like this: only the people who are authorized one can gain the access to view or to modify or to use that sensitive data or information of any customer or any business, or you can say the merchant. Okay, now we go for the next one, next dimension, that is privacy. So here privacy means it is again the ability to control the use of information a customer provides about himself or the herself to the merchant. So where the confidentiality is actually concerned with the information which is present during the communication, the privacy is actually concerned with the personal details. In general, the privacy is used to control the uses of information by the customer that they have given to the businessman or to the merchants. Okay, so here privacy is the major threat actually to any online transaction or to the internet users, since the personal information has been relieved and there is no way to back to disclose them. So it is very sensitive one in a customer perspective also and in the merchant perspective also. Okay, now we go for the next dimension, that is availability. So this availability is nothing but the ability to ensure that an e-commerce site continues to function as intended. Means what? The continuous availability of the data is the key feature or the key to provide the better customer experience in the e-commerce. So the continuous availability of the websites or e-commerce websites are increases the online visibility actually. Okay, so for that we use the different search engines. So the search engines are ranking and site trafficking is done for that. So the data which is present on the website must be secured one and available all the time for the customer without any downtime. So if it is not, then it will be difficult to gain the competitive edges or it is difficult to survive in the digital world. Okay, so the customers can access the site at any time from anywhere, and for merchants also, that's it is they want that their site is operating without any downtime. Now let's see the essential requirements for the safe e-commerce websites. In that, the first requirement is to choose a secure e-commerce platform. So here they want to say that you have to choose the strongly typed higher level language for the development. Means it is related when the software is developed for that e-commerce platform. At that time that must be developed by using the higher level language which is of strongly typed. If the open source tools or the libraries are used for that, then ensure that the framework does not create any security hole in your application. Security hole means what? The security is weak at some points and the intruder or anyone can go or go for hacking type of operation. So whatever applications you are developed for e-commerce, that must be more secure one. So whatever platform you are using, make them more strong or make them more secure at the time of developing that platform. Now we go for the second essential requirement, that is use a secure connection for the online checkout and make sure your PCI means payment card industry complaint. Okay, so what is this PCI is? The PCI complaints means what? The payment card industry, it requires a complaint means what? It is required by the credit card companies actually. Credit card companies to make the online transactions more secure and protect them against the identity theft. Okay, so any merchant that want to process or that want to store or transmit the credit card data, it required to be PCI compliant. So according to the PCI compliance, the Security Standard Council is there which defines these concepts which are related. Actually, this PCI compliance is the mandatory for every e-commerce merchant that accepts the credit card or the debit card payment on their website. So all the information which is entered by the customer is one of the sensitive information or sensitive data. So it must be well protected. Okay, and the main purpose of this PCI is to reduce the risk of debit card and credit card data loss in any case. And plus to that, always go or always use the HTTPS protocol for all important transactions. That is always important whenever you are opening any website for selling or purchasing, that must be start with HTTPS. This is very important. Okay, now the third is don't store the sensitive data. So the sensitive data is very important here. So sensitive data means what? The data which is very you can say the important data. So as a part of the website, there is no need to store any type of a sensitive information like your CVV number. Your card is having the CVV number that you know, and you have to use that CVV number at the time of online transaction and other credit card details that do not stored anywhere. Actually, it is very important thing you have to always remember. Okay, now the next one is set up the system alerts for the suspicious activities. Okay, means what? Always regularly actually scan your system or scan your site for the malware, and will pick up the bad code in the website placed there by the hacker. It provide uh, the actually different softwares which are frequently go for the scanning. Okay, and we can make your site more secure and safe. So build a system that alerts when a undesired event is happening with your system, or the multiple requests from the same IP for the long period of time. Also, it indicates that it is a malicious intent is there, means it is having for performing some bad operation which damages the security. So you have to use the some systems which alerts from these suspicious activities. Now the next requirement is layer your security. So layer your security means what? There must be the number of ways of security you can use. So here we can say the defense in depth is absolutely needed in the e-commerce domain. So the security features like multiple passwords and OTP are helps in reducing the risk of hacking. So here what they want to say as when you want to secure any data or you want to secure the website, at that time you don't depend on only a single option of the security. You use the multiple options of security to strengthen that security. Okay. Now the next requirement is provide the security training to the employees. So the basically it is for the at the merchant sides or the, at the business sides, the employees which are working there, they must be aware with, or they must have the knowledge which is related with the security holes, etc. So if that employees are understand the importance of security, then the human error can be avoided. Okay, that's why we have to give the proper training to the employees which is related with the security. Now the next is patch your system. So patch your system means what? If there is any loophole is there, means at the any place of security, if the security is get weakened, okay, easily one can access from that point. Then always check or always access all the dimensions of your security on a daily basis. And if the system is not to be not up to date, then the risk of getting the hacked is increased actually exponentially. So that's why daily scanning and daily checking of or updating the security related various softwares, and that is very important, which actually make your system more secure. The next point is make sure you have a distributed denial of service protection. Now, what is this distributed denial of service protection? Okay, we are already know about the denial of service. It is one type of attack, isn't it? So the distributed denial of service attack is an actually the attempt to crash a web server or your online system by overwhelming it with the data. Means more data is get bombarded on your system. It is one way they can do it. So this DDoS means distributed denial of service attacks can simple mischief, means it is like for the revenge, or for a hacktivism, or for it can range from the minor actually to the longer term downtime resulting in a loss of business also. So that's why we have to always protect our system in this case. So this DOS attack is the attack in which the computer sends a massive amount of traffic actually to the victim's computer and shut it down. So this DOS attacks is the online attack which is used to make the website unavailable for the people. It's his users basically, when which is done on the website. So this attack makes the server of that website down, which is connected to the internet, by sending a large number of traffic to that server or that system. So it is when we say it is distributed denial of services in this attack, it is done by many different locations by using many systems. Okay, so we have a mitigation strategy against the network denial of service attack, and we have to block the IPs that are sending the lots of requests many times to the system. Now we go for the next point, that is the disaster recovery plan. So basically for any type of a disaster, our government is having a disaster recovery plan. It may be related with the climate, isn't it? So same way, whenever it is related with the security, internet security, which is related with the our system, our website, plan for unlikely failure of your system. In case of the system is get failure, ensures that whatever the sensitive data we stored in the system that not get lost. So always use the backup or go for the backup or corruption by the system. So you must not have a heavy loss if your system is get crashed. So that's why you must be planned that recovery before it is crashed. So properly planned for that. Then there is minimum loss happened with you. Okay. So look at this diagram. This is just the diagrammatic representation of denial of service, the attack which we discussed in our previous slide. So look at here uh, how that attack is done. So here the hacker is there. He can use the unwriting host zombie server, and what he does, by using number of other terminals or computers from the network, he continuously send the request to the victim server. So this is the victim's server to which he want to hack or to which he want to damage actually. And the actual users of this server, that is these are the actual users of the server, because of these continuous requests which are sent by the hackers, the actual users do not get the access to that server. Okay, so this is what we called as a denial of service attack. Okay. So, what this e-commerce security is actually requires? So, it actually requires the operation or the concept of cryptography. In a cryptography, the messages or the data which is going to be transferred for the any type of a transaction, that can be converted into the another form. That is the concept of encryption and decryptions are used to change the form of format or form of the that data, or you can say the text also, so that cannot be easily identified and get by the intruder or any type of a hacker. So plus to that, because of the cryptography or based cryptography based protocol, we can authenticate the data, as well as uh, we can use it for the number of applications and for the solution to the security holes also. Okay, so thank you. This is for uh, the topic, that is e-commerce security.